Hitori Kakurenbo and Ouija. Imagine a game of hide and seek, but you're playing it alone, in the dead of the night, with a doll believed to be possessed by a spirit. Welcome to the eerie world of Hitori Kakurenbo. Hitori Kakurenbo, or one-man hide and seek, is a chilling game that originates from Japan, a country rich in spiritual and paranormal traditions. The rules of the game are deceptively simple, but its implications are far from child's play. It involves a solitary player, a doll, and a ritual that supposedly brings the doll to life. The doll is not your average plaything. It is chosen as a vessel, a host for a spirit that you invite into your game. This doll is then filled with uncooked rice, a symbol of the spirit's life force, and sewn up with a red thread, which is believed to bind the spirit to the doll. A name, preferably not your own, is given to the doll, and it becomes your opponent in this solitary game of hide and seek. As the game begins, the player announces to the doll that they are it, and the hunt commences. The doll, now believed to be inhabited by a spirit, is hidden, and the player must find it. But remember, this is no ordinary game. The doll isn't merely hidden. It's believed to move on its own, turning the tables on the player. The game continues until the player ends it, which must be done with a specific ritual involving salt water and verbal cues, ensuring the spirit is expelled from the doll. But the game's real terror lies in what happens if the rules are not followed correctly, or if the game is not ended properly. In the silence of the night, as you hunt for the doll, the real question is who is truly hiding and who is seeking. As your heart races and your palms sweat, you realize that in this chilling game of Hitori Kakurenbo, you might just be the one being sought. From the solitary game, we transition to a group activity, the Ouija. As hands hover over a planchette, waiting for a spirit's touch, the room fills with anticipation and fear. Let's delve into the enigma that is the Ouija board. Its origins are rooted in the late 19th century, a period rife with spiritualism and fascination with the afterlife. The board, adorned with letters of the alphabet, numbers, and other symbols, serves as a medium to the unseen world. The planchette, a heart-shaped piece of wood or plastic, is the tool that spirits supposedly use to communicate through. As participants gather around the board, they place their fingers lightly on the planchette, posing questions to the spirits. The planchette then glides across the board, spelling out responses letter by letter. It's a chilling experience, one that leaves participants on the edge of their seats, their hearts pounding with every movement of the planchette. But who or what is really moving the planchette? Is it the collective unconscious of the participants, or an unseen spirit trying to converse? Skeptics argue that it's the ideomotor effect, where the body makes movements unconsciously. Believers, however, insist that it's the work of entities from the other side. The Ouija board has a dual reputation. Some view it as a mere parlor game, a fun way to spook friends on a dark, stormy night. Others see it as a gateway to the supernatural, a tool that can invite malevolent spirits or negative energies into our realm. This perception of danger, combined with the board's intriguing history, contributes to its enduring allure and mystery. However, it's important to remember that engaging with the unknown can have its risks. Playing with a Ouija board is not just about moving a planchette on a board. It's about opening a dialogue with entities we barely understand. It's essential to approach such activities with caution and respect for the unseen. As the planchette moves, spelling out messages from the other side, one can't help but wonder, who is truly guiding the conversation? While both games delve into the realm of the unknown, their methods, participants, and objects used vary greatly. Let's start with the participants. Hitori Kakurenbo stands true to its translation, one-man hide-and-seek, where the player enters into a solitary game of hide and seek with a spirit-possessed doll. It's a chilling dance between the known and the unknown, the living and the beyond. In stark contrast, Ouija is a collective endeavor, where multiple participants gather around a board, hands on a planchette, hoping to decode the cryptic messages from the other side. The method of communication in both games is as different as night and day. In Hitori Kakurenbo, the player communicates with the doll, either by speaking aloud or by observing the supposed paranormal phenomena, such as the doll moving on its own. It's a silent conversation, a guessing game of sorts, where each move is interpreted as a message from the spirit. On the other hand, Ouija is far more explicit. Participants ask questions aloud, and the spirit responds by moving the planchette across the board to spell out answers. It's a direct line of communication, one that can be both enlightening and terrifying. The objects used in Hitori Kakurenbo are somewhat more elaborate than in Ouija. The game requires a doll, rice, a needle, and red thread, each with their symbolic significance. The doll, believed to be inhabited by a spirit, becomes the focal point of the game. Ouija, in comparison, requires only a board marked with letters, numbers, and other symbols, and a planchette that serves as a medium for the spirits to communicate. Both games, however, are not without their perceived risks. The solitary nature of Hitori Kakurenbo, coupled with the belief of summoning a spirit into a doll, paints it as a highly dangerous and terrifying game in urban legends and horror stories. Ouija, despite being popularized as a board game, carries its own cautionary tales of opening doorways to malevolent spirits or negative energies. The cultural contexts and perceptions of these games vary greatly as well. In Japan, where Hitori Kakurenbo originated, there is a deep-seated belief in the spiritual and paranormal. The game is a manifestation of this cultural fascination with the unseen. The Ouija board, on the other hand, is a product of the Western world, where it's often viewed as more of a recreational activity, despite the undercurrent of fear and caution. Two games, two different sets of chills, but remember, both tread on the thin ice of the unknown. Playing with the paranormal is not a game. The dangers are real, and they transcend beyond the physical realm. Now, let's delve deeper into the potential risks associated with Hitori Kakurenbo and Ouija. Firstly, these games can lead to psychological distress. The fear and anxiety induced by these games can have long-lasting effects, from insomnia to severe mental health issues. The solitary nature of Hitori Kakurenbo, coupled with the belief of interacting with a possessed doll, can be especially terrifying. Similarly, the suspenseful anticipation of a moving planchette in Ouija can also lead to heightened anxiety. Secondly, there's the risk of physical harm. This might sound far-fetched, but it's not unheard of for participants to injure themselves in their state of fear or even in the dark while playing these games. In Hitori Kakurenbo, the player is essentially playing hide and seek in the dark, and accidents can occur. Then there's the belief in the attachment of negative energies. Participants often report feeling drained or depressed after playing these games, attributing this to negative energy from the spirit world. In some cases, players have reported feeling watched or followed long after the game is over. The fourth risk involves the violation of spiritual boundaries. Both games, in essence, involve summoning spirits, and many believe this is a violation of a boundary that humans are not meant to cross. This can lead to unforeseen consequences, and it's a risk that's often overlooked by thrill seekers. It's also worth noting that cultural differences influence our perception of these games. In Japan, where Hitori Kakurenbo originated, there's a deep-rooted belief in the spiritual and paranormal. The game is taken seriously and is often considered dangerous. On the other hand, in the Western world, Ouija is often seen as a harmless board game, despite warnings from those who believe in its paranormal capabilities. The thrill might be enticing, but the dangers are far too real. Remember, some doors are best left unopened. Playing with the paranormal is not just a game. It's a risk, and it's one that we advise you not to take lightly. Cease. So, Hitori Kakurenbo or Ouija, a doll or a planchette, alone or in a group, the choice is yours, but remember, the essence of these games lies not in their paraphernalia, but in their intent. Each game offers a different approach to communicating with the unseen. Hitori Kakurenbo, with its solitary nature and eerie doll, is a chilling experience, while Ouija, with its enigmatic board and communal participation, is a mysterious journey. Both games, however, share a common thread: the potential for danger. Whether it's the psychological distress from playing alone in the dark with a supposedly possessed doll, or the risk of opening doors to negative energies through a Ouija board, caution is paramount. These games are not just about seeking thrill. They're about understanding the unknown. They demand respect, caution, and a certain degree of skepticism. In the realm of the unknown, every choice has its consequences. Play safe, stay safe.